Have you ever noticed how some people seem to be in control of everything? Their goals are clear, their minds are focused, their days are productive, their lives move forward with purpose. And then there are days when you wake up already feeling behind. You grab your phone before you even get out of bed. One notification turns into 10. 10 minutes turn into 30. Suddenly you're rushing through your morning, reacting to life instead of leading it. The strange thing is that most people think success is decided by huge moments, a life-changing opportunity, a lucky break, a perfect plan. But what if success is decided long before any of those things happen? What if the direction of your entire day is determined within the first 60 minutes after you open your eyes? Every day begins with a choice, even if most people never realize they're making one. The moment you wake up, your mind is incredibly vulnerable. It is like fresh clay waiting to be shaped. Whatever you expose yourself to during the first hour of your day often determines your emotional state, your focus, your energy, and ultimately your actions for the next several hours. This is why winning the morning is not just about waking up early. It is about intentionally creating the mental direction that guides your entire day. Think about how many people start their mornings. Before their feet even touch the floor, they reach for their phones. They scroll through social media, read negative news headlines, check emails, and consume dozens of opinions from strangers. Within minutes, their minds are flooded with information, distractions, and stress. Instead of beginning the day with clarity, they begin with chaos. Instead of deciding where their attention will go, they allow the world to decide for them. Now compare that to someone who wakes up with purpose. They spend a few moments in silence. They review their goals. They exercise, read something inspiring, or write down their priorities. Before the world has a chance to influence their thinking, they establish control over their mindset. The difference may seem small in the moment, but over weeks, months, and years, it creates a completely different life. Your mind is like a compass. If the compass is pointed in the wrong direction at the beginning of the journey, even a slight error can lead you miles away from your intended destination. In the same way, if your morning starts with distraction, stress, and reaction, the rest of your day often follows that pattern. But when your morning starts with intention, focus, and discipline, your actions naturally begin to align with your goals. Many successful people understand this principle deeply. They know that before they can manage a business, lead a team, build wealth, or achieve great things, they must first manage their own minds. They recognize that every achievement begins as a thought. Every decision begins as a mindset. Every breakthrough begins with mental clarity. Consider an athlete preparing for a championship. They do not wait until the competition begins to get focused. Their focus starts long before they step onto the field. They mentally prepare themselves, visualize success, and enter the day with a clear sense of purpose. The same principle applies to life. Every morning is preparation for the challenges and opportunities ahead. If you begin your day mentally scattered, you are entering life's competition unprepared. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is asking yourself a simple question each morning: what kind of person do I want to be today? This question immediately shifts your attention away from circumstances and toward character. Instead of reacting to whatever happens, you begin operating from a place of intention. You become proactive rather than reactive. The truth is that life rarely becomes organized until the mind becomes organized first. Many people try to fix their productivity problems with new apps, schedules, or time management systems. While those tools can help, they are not the foundation. The foundation is mental direction. If your mind lacks focus, even the best plans will fail. But when your mind is clear and disciplined, even simple plans become effective. Every morning offers a fresh opportunity to reset your thoughts, your attitude, and your priorities. Yesterday's mistakes do not have to control today. Yesterday's failures do not have to define your future. The morning gives you a chance to begin again with a stronger mindset and a clearer vision. Remember, success is rarely the result of one extraordinary action. More often, it is the result of ordinary actions repeated consistently over time. and those actions are heavily influenced by the way you think. That is why the morning matters so much. It sets the tone for your thinking, and your thinking shapes your actions. When you take control of your morning, you take control of your mental direction. When you take control of your mental direction, you take control of your decisions. And when you consistently control your decisions, you begin creating the life you have always wanted. The battle for success is often won or lost before breakfast, because the person who masters their morning gains a powerful advantage over the person who simply drifts through it. One of the biggest reasons people feel overwhelmed is not because they have too much to do, but because they never create space to organize their thoughts before the demands of the day begin. The world is noisy. The moment you wake up, there are messages to answer, responsibilities to handle, problems to solve, and countless distractions competing for your attention. If you wait until the day is fully underway to get organized, you are already behind. This is why organization begins before the world wakes up. The early morning hours offer something that becomes increasingly rare as the day progresses: peace. In those quiet moments, there are no urgent notifications demanding your attention. There are no unexpected interruptions pulling you in different directions. There is only you, your thoughts, your goals, and the opportunity to decide how you will spend the precious hours ahead. Most people approach their day reactively. They wake up and immediately respond to whatever appears in front of them. An email arrives, so they answer it. A message appears, so they check it. A problem emerges, so they deal with it. By the end of the day, they have been busy for hours, yet they often feel as though they accomplished very little that truly mattered. They spent the entire day responding to life instead of directing it. Highly organized people operate differently. Before the world starts making demands on them, they spend time identifying what is most important. They understand that if they do not decide where their attention goes, someone else will. They know that organization is not about having a perfectly clean desk or a color-coded calendar. Organization is about clarity. It is about knowing what deserves your energy and what does not. Imagine a captain preparing to sail a ship across the ocean. Before leaving the harbor, the captain carefully studies the route, checks the weather conditions, and determines the destination. No responsible captain would simply start sailing and hope everything works out. Yet many people live exactly that way. They begin each day without a clear plan, then wonder why they feel lost, stressed, and overwhelmed. Your morning is your opportunity to become the captain of your life. It is the time to establish priorities before distractions appear. Even spending 10 or 15 minutes planning your day can dramatically improve your productivity and reduce unnecessary stress. When you know exactly what must be accomplished, your mind becomes calmer because uncertainty decreases. Another reason organization begins early is because your willpower is strongest in the morning. Throughout the day, every decision you make consumes mental energy. By evening, your mind is often tired and less capable of making thoughtful choices. The morning provides a unique window when your mind is fresh and your judgment is clearer. This is the perfect time to identify your most important tasks and commit to completing them. Many successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and leaders share a common habit. They do not start their mornings by asking, "What do I feel like doing today?" Instead, they ask, "What is the most important thing I need to accomplish today?" That simple shift creates focus. It separates productive people from distracted people. It allows them to make progress on meaningful goals rather than getting trapped in endless, busy work. Organization also creates confidence. Think about the difference between walking into an important meeting completely unprepared versus walking in with a clear plan. The situation may be the same, but your mindset is entirely different. Preparation reduces anxiety because it replaces uncertainty with direction. The same principle applies to your daily life. When your morning includes planning and organization, you move through the day with greater confidence because you know where you are going. Perhaps the greatest benefit of morning organization is that it helps you align your actions with your long-term goals. Without organization, it is easy to spend every day putting out fires and handling urgent matters. But urgency is not always importance. Many of the things that transform our lives, improving our health, building a business, learning new skills, strengthening relationships, and pursuing meaningful dreams require deliberate attention. They rarely happen by accident. Every morning presents a choice. You can allow the day to control you, or you can take a few moments to organize your thoughts and take control of the day. One path leads to confusion, stress, and constant reaction. The other leads to clarity, confidence, and purposeful action. The people who appear to have their lives together are not necessarily smarter or more talented than everyone else. In many cases, they have simply learned the power of preparing before the world becomes noisy. They understand that organization begins in the quiet moments when most people are still asleep. And by winning those moments, they give themselves an advantage that carries through the entire day. Many people believe discipline is something you suddenly develop when life becomes serious enough. They imagine that one day they will wake up feeling motivated, determined, and ready to change everything. But discipline does not work that way. It is not created through massive, life-changing decisions. It is built through small victories repeated consistently over time. And some of the most important victories happen during the first hour of the morning. The moment your alarm clock rings, a battle begins. It may seem insignificant, but it represents one of the first tests of the day. One voice tells you to stay comfortable, hit the snooze button, and delay your responsibilities. The other voice reminds you of your goals, your commitments, and the person you want to become. Every morning, you choose which voice will lead your life. What makes this choice so powerful is that it creates momentum. When you keep a promise to yourself first thing in the morning, you immediately strengthen your self-respect. You prove to yourself that your actions are stronger than your excuses. That simple act may seem small, but it sends a powerful message to your subconscious mind. I am someone who follows through. Discipline grows through evidence. Every time you do what you said you would do, you collect proof that you can trust yourself. The problem is that many people underestimate the importance of these small moments. They think success comes from huge achievements, but those achievements are usually the result of thousands of disciplined decisions made long before anyone notices the outcome. Imagine someone who decides to wake up 30 minutes earlier each day. During that time, they exercise, read, plan their day, or work on a personal goal. None of those actions seem extraordinary on a single morning. But after a month, they have invested 15 extra hours into their growth. After a year, they have invested more than 180 hours. The results begin to compound, not because of one giant effort, but because of small daily victories. This is how discipline is built, not through perfection, but through consistency. One of the greatest misconceptions about successful people is that they always feel motivated. In reality, many successful individuals often do things they do not feel like doing. The difference is that they have trained themselves to act based on commitment rather than emotion. They understand that feelings change constantly, but disciplined actions create lasting results. Morning habits provide the perfect environment for developing this mindset. When you get out of bed on time, make your bed, exercise, meditate, journal, or complete any positive routine, you are practicing self-control. You are teaching yourself that comfort is not always the priority. Growth is. Think of discipline like a muscle. A muscle becomes stronger when it is challenged repeatedly. If it is never used, it weakens. The same is true for self-discipline. Every small morning habit is like another repetition in the gym of personal growth. The more consistently you perform these habits, the stronger your discipline becomes. What is interesting is that these early victories often influence everything that follows. If you begin the day by giving in to excuses, it becomes easier to make more excuses later. You skip the workout, delay the important task, avoid difficult conversations, and postpone meaningful goals. But if you begin the day with discipline, that mindset tends to carry forward. You become more likely to make productive choices throughout the day because you have already established a winning pattern. Small victories also create confidence. Confidence is often misunderstood as something people are born with. In reality, genuine confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself. When you consistently follow through on your commitments, you begin trusting your ability to handle challenges. You stop depending on motivation because you know you can rely on your discipline. Another important truth is that discipline reduces stress. Many people think discipline feels restrictive, but the opposite is often true. Lack of discipline creates chaos. Missed deadlines, unfinished tasks, poor habits, and constant procrastination generate anxiety and overwhelm. Discipline creates order. It gives you control over your time, your actions, and your future. The most successful people understand that greatness is rarely built in dramatic moments. It is built in quiet moments when nobody is watching. It is built when you choose action over excuses, consistency over convenience, and purpose over comfort. These decisions may seem small, but they are shaping your identity every single day. Every morning gives you an opportunity to score an early victory. It does not have to be something extraordinary. It could be getting out of bed when you plan to. It could be drinking water instead of scrolling through your phone. It could be exercising for 20 minutes or writing down your goals. What matters is not the size of the action. What matters is the message it sends. That message is simple. I am in control. And when you repeat that message day after day, week after week, and year after year, discipline stops being something you do. It becomes part of who you are. The small victories of the morning eventually become the foundation of a successful, organized, and extraordinary life. One of the greatest challenges of modern life is not a lack of opportunity. It is a lack of focus. Never before in human history have people had so much information available to them, yet so many struggle to concentrate on what truly matters. Every day, countless distractions compete for your attention. Social media notifications, text messages, emails, breaking news, endless videos, and constant digital noise are all fighting for one thing: your focus. The reason winning the morning is so important is because it creates a protective barrier between you and these distractions before they have a chance to take control of your day. Most people don't lose their productivity in one dramatic moment. They lose it little by little. 5 minutes of scrolling becomes 20. A quick check of notifications turns into an hour of consuming information that adds no value to their goals. Before they realize it, their attention has been scattered in dozens of different directions. They spend the rest of the day trying to recover the focus they gave away so freely in the morning. The problem with distractions is not just that they consume time, they consume mental energy. Every time your attention shifts from one thing to another, your brain pays a price. It takes effort to refocus. It takes energy to regain concentration. This is why many people feel mentally exhausted despite accomplishing very little. Their minds have been jumping from one stimulus to another all day long. The morning provides a unique opportunity to protect your focus before the distractions begin. During those early hours, the world is quieter. There are fewer interruptions. There is more space to think clearly. When you use that time intentionally, you strengthen your ability to direct your attention toward meaningful activities rather than allowing distractions to dictate your behavior. Think about the difference between a person who starts the day by checking social media and a person who starts the day by working toward a goal. The first person immediately enters a reactive state. Their thoughts are influenced by other people's opinions, problems, achievements, and expectations. Their mind becomes crowded before they have even had a chance to think for themselves. The second person begins with purpose. They focus on growth, learning, planning, or taking action. One starts the day consuming. The other starts the day creating. This distinction matters more than most people realize. Your attention is one of your most valuable resources. Money can be earned again. Lost opportunities can sometimes return. But the moments of your life can never be recovered. Every time you allow distractions to steal your focus, you are giving away a portion of your life that you will never get back. Many successful people have learned to guard their mornings fiercely. They understand that their best ideas, strongest focus, and highest energy often exist during the first few hours of the day. Instead of giving that time away to distractions, they invested in activities that move them closer to their goals. They write, exercise, study, plan, build businesses, develop skills, and work on meaningful projects before the rest of the world demands their attention. This does not mean you must completely eliminate technology or disconnect from reality. The goal is not to avoid the world forever. The goal is to establish control before engaging with it. There is a big difference between choosing when to check your phone and feeling compelled to check it every few minutes. One is intentional, the other is reactive. A powerful habit is to create a distraction-free zone during the first hour of your morning. Avoid social media. Avoid unnecessary notifications. Avoid immediately consuming information that does not serve your goals. Instead, focus on activities that strengthen your mind and prepare you for the day ahead. Even a short period of uninterrupted focus can dramatically improve your productivity and mental clarity. Another reason morning focus is so powerful is that it influences your identity. Every day you resist distractions. You reinforce the belief that you are capable of controlling your attention. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is constantly reacting to external demands and start seeing yourself as someone who acts with purpose. That shift in identity can transform every area of your life. The truth is that distractions are not going away. As technology continues to evolve, the competition for your attention will only become stronger. The people who achieve extraordinary results in the future will not necessarily be the most talented or the smartest. They will be the people who can maintain focus in a world designed to destroy it. Winning the morning gives you that advantage. It allows you to begin the day with clarity instead of confusion, purpose instead of reaction, and discipline instead of distraction. It helps you take ownership of your attention before the world attempts to claim it. And when you learn to protect your focus, you protect your goals, your productivity, and ultimately the direction of your life. Every morning, you have a choice. You can hand your attention over to distractions, or you can protect it and invest it where it matters most. One choice leads to constant frustration and wasted potential. The other leads to progress, achievement, and a life built on purpose. The difference often comes down to how you spend the first hour of your day. Most people overestimate what they can accomplish in a single day and underestimate what they can achieve in a single year. They look for dramatic transformations, instant success, and overnight results. They want to change everything at once. But the truth is that extraordinary lives are rarely built through extraordinary moments. They are built through ordinary actions repeated consistently over long periods of time. This is why consistent mornings have the power to create extraordinary results. Think about the way a tree grows. You do not see dramatic changes from one day to the next. If you stare at it every morning, it appears almost exactly the same. Yet year after year, it grows taller, stronger, and more deeply rooted. Success works in much the same way. The daily habits that seem insignificant today often become the foundation of remarkable achievements tomorrow. Many people fail to recognize this because they are focused on immediate rewards. They judge their efforts based on what happens today rather than what those efforts will produce over time. They wake up early for a few days, don't see instant results, and quit. They exercise for a week, don't notice major changes, and stop. They work on a personal goal for a short period, become impatient, and give up. What they fail to understand is that success often remains invisible until enough consistent effort has accumulated. Every productive morning is like making a small deposit into an account called your future. One deposit may not seem significant, neither do 10. But when those deposits continue month after month and year after year, the results become impossible to ignore. The same principle applies to your habits, your mindset, your skills, and your personal growth. Imagine two people. The first person wakes up every morning without a plan. They spend the first hour scrolling through their phone, reacting to notifications, and drifting through the day. The second person spends that same hour exercising, reading, learning, planning, or working toward a meaningful goal. On a single day, the difference between these two people may seem small. After 1 week, it may still be difficult to notice. But after 1 year, the gap becomes enormous. After 5 years, they may be living completely different lives. The reason is simple. Consistency compounds. Just as money grows through compound interest, personal growth grows through compound habits. Every morning routine strengthens the next one. Every disciplined action makes future discipline easier. Every positive choice creates momentum that carries into future decisions. Over time, these small improvements begin stacking on top of each other, creating results that seem extraordinary from the outside, but were actually built through consistent daily effort. Many of the world's most successful people understand this principle. They do not rely on motivation because motivation is unpredictable. Some days you feel inspired, and some days you don't. If success depended entirely on motivation, very few people would achieve anything meaningful. Instead, successful individuals rely on routines and systems that keep them moving forward, regardless of how they feel. Consistency creates reliability. When your morning habits become automatic, you no longer waste energy deciding whether or not to do them. They become part of your identity. Just as brushing your teeth requires little thought, your productive habits begin to operate on autopilot. This frees mental energy for more important decisions and allows progress to continue even during difficult periods. There is another powerful benefit to consistent mornings that many people overlook. They create stability during uncertain times. Life is unpredictable. Challenges appear without warning. Plans change. Difficulties arise. During those moments, people who have built strong routines possess an advantage. Their habits provide structure when everything else feels uncertain. Their morning routine becomes an anchor that keeps them grounded regardless of what happens around them. This is why consistency often matters more than intensity. An hour of focused effort every day is usually more valuable than a burst of extreme effort, followed by weeks of inactivity. Small actions performed consistently create greater results than large actions performed occasionally. The person who improves by just 1% each day eventually reaches places that once seemed impossible. The beauty of consistent mornings is that they transform more than your schedule. They transform your character. Every day you follow through on your commitments, you strengthen qualities such as discipline, patience, responsibility, and resilience. These qualities eventually influence every area of your life, from your career and finances to your health and relationships. What makes extraordinary people different is not that they possess some secret talent unavailable to everyone else. More often, they simply do the right things consistently while others do them occasionally. They understand that greatness is not created in a single breakthrough moment. It is created through hundreds of ordinary mornings when they chose discipline over excuses and action over procrastination. Every morning gives you an opportunity to build momentum toward the future you desire. Each productive routine, each focused hour, and each disciplined choice may seem small on its own, but together, they form a powerful force that can completely transform your life. The extraordinary results you admire in others are often nothing more than the accumulation of consistent mornings repeated over and over again. Success is not built in a day. It is built daily. And when you commit to winning your mornings consistently, you begin creating results that once seemed beyond your reach. What feels ordinary today can become extraordinary tomorrow, provided you have the patience and discipline to keep showing up one morning at a time. Many people spend years searching for the secret to a better life. They read countless books, watch motivational videos, attend seminars, and wait for the perfect opportunity to appear. They believe that one day something extraordinary will happen that changes everything. But what if the life you want is not hidden in some distant future event? What if it is hidden inside the way you begin each morning? The reality is that your future is not created by what you occasionally do. It is created by what you consistently do. Your daily habits are quietly shaping the person you are becoming. Every morning, whether you realize it or not, you are building your future one decision at a time. The person you will be 5 years from now is being shaped by the choices you make today, especially during the first moments after you wake up. Think about the life you truly want. Maybe you want better health. Maybe you want financial freedom. Maybe you dream of building a successful business, developing stronger relationships, becoming more confident, or finding a greater sense of purpose. Whatever your vision may be, It is important to understand one thing. Those outcomes are not separate from your daily habits. They are the result of your daily habits. A healthy body is built through daily decisions. Financial success is built through daily decisions. Personal growth is built through daily decisions. Strong relationships are built through daily decisions. And many of those decisions begin in the morning. Every morning presents a fork in the road. One path leads toward the future you desire. The other leads toward staying exactly where you are. The challenge is that these paths often look almost identical in the moment. Choosing to wake up early instead of sleeping longer may seem insignificant. Reading a few pages of a book instead of scrolling through social media may seem insignificant. Exercising for 30 minutes instead of skipping it may seem insignificant. But over time, these small decisions accumulate and create dramatically different outcomes. The danger is that most people focus only on the immediate comfort of a choice rather than its long-term consequences. They choose what feels easy now without considering where that decision is leading them. Comfort becomes a habit. Delay becomes a habit. Procrastination becomes a habit. Eventually, those habits shape an entire lifestyle. Successful people understand something powerful. Every habit is a vote for the type of person you want to